I try to put the mic on mute so that you don't hear that hissing sound from the computer, and then I forget to turn it off. I apologize for that. Good morning. Welcome to Winged Horse Designs. I'm Donna Goodwin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Brookings, South Dakota. So it's a brand new month. That means a brand new focus. I'm going to focus on techniques, mostly on techniques this month, but also on showing you a lot of the new colors that go in effect tomorrow. So today we're going to do this card that uses, that uses two different types of masking techniques. We're going to do regular masking and reverse masking on this. I think you're going to find that it's really easy and you're really going to enjoy it. By the way, good morning, Terry. Welcome. Last week, I did this on my Monday Live. I did this accordion fold card, and during the live comments, this card went out to Irene. And for this one on the replays, Cindy Anderson responded on YouTube on the replay, and this is going to you. So Cindy, please do reach out to me some way through direct messaging, either Facebook direct messenger or through my website, and give me your mailing address and I'll get that sent out to you. So I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Here is a better view of the card that, there we go. Just never know how the lighting is going to react. So here's a better view of the card. And like I said, we're going to do some regular masking and we're going to do some reverse masking. This circle is actually considered reverse masking. This card represents 4 new colors coming in effective tomorrow. Effective? That's not the right word. Available tomorrow. My card base is boho blue. Good morning from Colorado, my home state. I grew up there. Welcome, welcome. I miss it, the weather at least, in the mountains. So the card base is boho blue. That's a new in color. It'll be available for 2 years. This mat is blueberry bushel, a returning in color, added to the core line. And then the daisies are stamped in lemon lolly, a new color, new core color. And then the centers are stamped in wild wheat, which is a new in color. So I'm going to go ahead, and then of course we have new embellishments as well. So I'm going to set this up here in the corner and we'll start talking. You won't need to write these measurements down, but the card base is a standard 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to give that a nice good crease with my bone folder and set it aside. The mat measures 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch, or basically a smidge. Well, I guess it's quite a bit larger, but it measures larger than the white piece that we're putting on front. That's right, I altered this. For the inside, we need a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. And this piece, I should have wrote this down because I changed it up, is 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And so this is the piece that we'll be doing most of the work on. Today I've opted to use a stamp set or a bundle that will be available tomorrow for those of you who like to purchase from Stampin' Up. This is called the Cheerful Daisies bundle, and it has these wonderful daisy images that you can do 2-step stamping with, a couple really nice sentiments. And it comes with a matching set of dies. And these dies, you have this one big piece here that cuts out, let me give you a better view here, that cuts out, this is one great big piece that cuts out. I'm going to be featuring this on my Friday upload. Good morning, Irene. And with this, then you can die cut these pieces here in the center. These die cut and emboss at the same time. And you can add those into here, and then you can cut out a leaf and put it underneath for where this shows up. You have this nice stem here. These cut out the images that you can stamp, the stems and some centers, but then it also, you can do some what's considered card piecing. So some things that you can do with that. Now, I started out with a monochromatic card. And I was like, I don't think I like that all so much. So I decided I wanted something with more color. So we're going to do something with more color. I'm using 4 ink colors that I talked about, 3 of them already. The new Lemon Lolly, beautiful yellow, Boho Blue, and Wild Wheat. But then I'm going to bring in Old Olive for the stems and leaves. So I'm just going to set those up there. And I chose to also use, this tray over here is making a lot of noise. I apologize for that. The Solid Gems, they come in Lemon Lolly, Boho Blue, and Pecan Pie, another new color coming into the core line. So real quick. Good morning, Terry, Lois, Irene, Linnell, Betty, and Terry's here. Oh, Terry's here twice, I think. And we're going to need a blending brush. Now, Stampin' Up! Does sell these, and they sell 2 different sizes. This is their original size, but you can also pick these up. I have a set that I really like that comes in 5 different sizes that you can pick up like at the dollar store in the makeup section, or at Walmart in the makeup section, probably Target as well. But I'm going to use the Stampin' Up! One. So let's start talking about our mask. We definitely need some type of scrap paper to protect our surface in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and I'm using masking paper, but Post-it notes work really well, especially these Post-it notes that are covered all over except for this tiny little area here where they work extremely well. But you can just use these over and over again. You can see I've used this a couple times. So I'm going to go about, for my card, I'm going to go about 1 inch up. Because I don't want anything on top of this. This is going to create our little opening through the window. Good morning, Harriet. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my images. So I'm going to stamp my daisies in Lemon Lolly. Don't you love that name, Lemon Lolly? Where am I? If you're enjoying what I do, please do like, comment, and share. I enjoy the love. The comments are a lot of fun for me because I get to see what you like and dislike. So I'm just going to stamp 3 little daisies. These could be turned upside down and turned into cornflowers. So I have a little bit of overlap. I keep forgetting, for the rest of you really should be working with photopolymer on a mat. I forget because my desk is a desk mat, and so it gives me that cushion that photopolymer needs. And while we're here, let's just go ahead and set that aside for a second and stamp the inside. I opted to stamp this little cluster of 3 flowers down in that corner. And then we can set that aside because the inside is done, and we can bring this one back. Let's bring in our stems in Old Olive. And yes, I am doing my stems before I do my centers. And then I'm going to stamp the leaves. The leaves, where did the leaves go? I just had them, so bear with me, they're here. I have kind of a mess going on here. Did they end up back in the stamp case. Ah, it did. It ended up back in the stamp case. There we go. I'll get my act together here one of these days. And you notice that the leaves are going kind of over and above. So we can set that one aside. Let's go ahead and bring in our centers in Wild Wheat. This is kind of a greenish, brownish yellow. It's a hard color to describe. I got a little aggressive and got some there on the corner. Now that's all of that I'm going to do, but now I need to do I need to mask this before I do my reverse masking. So I am going to bring in some masks that I've already pre-cut. And I just have them on the back sheet of my dies, but you could store them any way you want because you can use them over and over again. They are really sticky, so they really want to stick to this. And that one's sticking a little bit better than I would like, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So we're just going to cover those up. So what I should have done with these, and what you should do, I actually cut these out with, wow, these are really sticking. You should run them over a piece of linen to take some of the stickiness out. I have never had this much difficulty with these before. So what do you do when that happens? You move everything aside and you cut some more. So we're just going to do that real quick. I am going to take the flower and I'm going to stamp it 3 times on a Post-it note. And while I'm doing this quick recovery, I'll just go ahead and talk about my classes. I do a couple different classes throughout the month. Every Wednesday, if you're here local to me in Brookings, I do a craft and chat on Wednesdays that's from 11 to noon. And we simply do 1 card each week. So we keep it kind of loose and kind of simple. So if you're short on time or you just prefer to do 1 card at a time and not get overwhelmed, it's a great class. And you just need to register and sign up for that the Monday before each Wednesday. Or you can come in and say, I want to do X number of classes. You definitely do not have to take them consecutively. And then I offer a class once a month where we do 3 cards. Oh, and that craft and chat, that's a $2.50 per card. And we make 1 card. And then on my monthly classes, we do 3 cards for $10. And it's a great way to learn new ideas, meet new people. I keep the classes pretty small. I try to keep them to 4 at a time. That way it just allows for more interaction and more chit chat. And I also have a newsletter. You can sign up for. All these links are in the description. You can sign up for that. I only send out 3 newsletters a month, unless there's something really important that needs to go out and can't wait for one of the next newsletters. I send one out in the first 10 days of the month. That's all the specials and business Stampin' Up! Stuff going on. I send one out middle of the month. I try to do it on the 15th. Sometimes it doesn't go out until the 16th. And that is a exclusive tutorial that you can only get through that email. And then, of course, I do these lives every Monday morning at 10 a.m. And then I upload a video every Friday. And if you see products that you like and you would like to purchase them and you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. You can find me in a couple different places. You can find me at my website on wingedhorsedesigns.com, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all under the same name of wingedhorsedesigns.com, or Winged Horse Designs, sorry. This is a lot of work trying to do videos and cut and talk all at the same time. Okay, and I'm also going to cover up these leaves real quick. So let's stamp a couple leaves. I'm not going to cover up the stems. This is a long time to recover. I really apologize. If you're coming in on replay, welcome. And you have the opportunity on replay to fast forward past all of this and get back into where I'm actually assembling the cards. So that's always a good thing. Gotta love replay. I'm beginning to think I'm going to have to find myself a moderator to help me with all of this behind the scenes stuff while I'm actually crafting. They could be running all these banners. And here's my April host code if you do see something you'd like and you don't already have a demonstrator. Didn't get that one on very straight. Okay, back in business. Now that we have our images that we stamped covered up, it's time to put on our reverse mask. And all I did is I took a circle punch. You can use a circle punch, you can use a die, you can use anything you want, but you probably are going to need something a little bit bigger. Paper works as well, good as well. It's a little bit harder to hook down, and you just kind of pick where you want it to go. You can see mine's well used, it's torn, but that's okay. Ovals look really, really nice. And we're just going to mask that so that now we're going to do, so this is the reverse mask. We're going to put ink inside this mask. Wow, my space is like crowding in. Does that ever happen to any of you? I know it does. You confess up. And I'm going to start off and come in, and I'm just going to circle around, and I'm just going to highlight this and bring in the blue. And I'm okay that some of it got a little dark. It is better to start out light and then come in. You're going to see that when you're sponging with this boho blue, it comes in pretty dark, but when you're stamping with it, it's a little bit lighter. So now that we have our circle, I'm going to peel this mask off. I'm going to save it because I can use it on yet another one. And I'm just going to start peeling all these masks off. So as I peel off the flowered mask, you can see the colors popping out from behind, in front of this dark blue. And these are attached to that one, so I think they can get them all up at the same time. And we have our space in the middle. Whoops, I'm sliding around a lot here. We have our space in the middle for our sentiment. So let's go ahead and bring in our sentiment. I chose oopsie-daisy, so sorry. You know, sometimes saying you're sorry with a card is just as effective, or if not more effective, than saying it in person. Sometimes it's best to do both. There we go. So I have that stamped in. Now it's just a matter of putting the card together. So I'm just going to glue the inside in. Please do start thinking up your questions and putting your questions in so that we can do questions and answers here in just a little bit. I find that the funnest part of doing lives is the questions and answers, to see the questions that you have. The questions are just as fun and important to me as the comments. And because this says oopsie-daisy, rather than doing a straight mat and lining things up straight, I'm going to turn my mat kitty corner and put it in crooked. Sometimes it's just fun to do crooked. More often than not, I do crooked simply because I got it down and didn't get it lined up very well, and it came out crooked by accident, not necessarily by design. But today we're going to do it by design. So I'm just going to kind of where you would line it up where you normally would, but then just tilt it a bit so that it's crooked. And then the trick is to let your eyes keep this one straight and not go crooked with it. If you go crooked with this one, it tends to mess with people's eyesight because the words are crooked. So I'm going to try really hard to get this lined up with the bottom edge and the sides of the card so that it's not crooked. And then we'll bring in some of these new gems. So I'll use my take your pick tool on the putty side because it's just so convenient. Let's put a couple of little yellow ones on yellow flowers. And then a little blue one down over here. It looks like there's a little bit of tiny, you can't really see it on camera, but there's a little tiny tear right here from pulling the mask up. So that's a perfect spot to put an embellishment. And there you have oopsie-daisy, so sorry, and a nice inside that you can write on. So I hope you enjoyed this card. The first of the Cheerful Daisies bundle. You'll probably see a lot of that because I really love daisies and it's one of the new stamp sets, so expect to see quite a bit of it. I'm going to go ahead and check comments real quick. Do know that when I do the giveaway, it chooses from comments. So we'll start. Terry is here and Lois is here from Colorado, my home state. Irene is here on this nice sunny day. Linnell is watching from the parking lot but can't hear me, so she may have to catch the replay. Well, it does help if I take it off of mute. And Betty is here from California. I bet it's sunny in California. And Terry says, oh, she loves daisies. Might have to get this. I love daisies too. Daisies are my favorite flower. I actually carried daisies in my bouquet when I got married. Harriet is here. And Harriet says, you do a wonderful job. It gives us hope when we need to have a do-over. Well, I try not to do do-overs on my lives, but thank you. But then again, it's kind of nice to just be raw and let you see how things go. You love the masking technique. Yes, I love the masking technique myself. I do it a lot, actually. And Harriet also says, I actually love the crooked, and it's just a bit of a stretch for her. It's just a bit. And Mary says, thank you for the great idea of how to give it a background color without having to stamp on top of it. It's a wonderful way to do it. And just to add a little bit, it's great if you are doing solid white cards. Whoops, I guess you can't see. If you're doing a solid white card and you're trying to figure out what do I do, just this little bit of color on a solid white base, if you like to use white bases, will really make that pop up a lot. It'll pop way up. So I'm going to go ahead while you're thinking of that and get ready to do the giveaway. Oops, that's not the way I wanted it. There's the way I wanted it. Okay. And take that banner off. And we'll go ahead for the 7 of you, and we'll just go ahead and draw. Whoops. Me and my mouse are not getting along very well today. And as it slows down, congratulations, Linnell. I think I know where Linnell's at. I think she's in having her physical therapy, but congratulations. I'll get that card to her and she'll get this one. So Friday I will be oh, you'd probably like a sneak peek of what's coming up on Friday. Friday will be just as long, if not longer than this one, but it'll be by design. Friday, I'm going to do, with the Cheerful Daisies, I'm going to do 1 stencil, 2 cards. So I'm going to create a stencil with another, using a die cut from a different set of dies, and then I'm going to make 2 cards using that. So here's what you can expect to see uploaded on Friday. 2 different cards using, well, it's over here, using 1 stencil that I'm going to create. So I think you'll find that kind of fun. That'll be uploaded on Friday. I will be back Monday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, right here to give you another live presentation. So have a wonderful week, everyone. Happy trails. Bye-bye.